Okay, now the second one we wanted to talk about is actually on CP58. Yeah, so interestingly, we were actually having questions pertaining to CP58. Okay, whereby, okay, there are people who ask us, with invoices already issued, do I still need to issue CP58? No need issue, no CP58 needed anymore. You know, this is like a layman question, so we thought we pick it up anyway for everyone to actually see what are the questions that came to us. Question number 2, after issuance of CP58 to related person, how do I submit to Hasil, okay, for records? Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri, nowadays, they rebrand themselves to call Hasil. So we call them Hasil now. So after issuance of CP58, question number 2, after issuance of CP58, how do I submit to Hasil for record? Number 2, I believe the person who asked this question is a preparer of CP58. Number 3, can CP58 issue for part-time wages, contractors, or companies? Okay, now let's go through a simple fun fact, okay, of the CP58. CP58, it is a statement that record monetary and non-monetary incentive payments made to, basically they talk about 3 categories of people: agent, dealer, or distributor. The fundamental purpose of CP58 is these 3 categories, in fact. Okay, number 2, if an agent, dealer, or distributor has issued an invoice, Form CP58 do not need to be prepared anymore. Yeah, let me answer one of the questions that actually been posed to us. Number 3, Form CP58 can be prepared for agent, dealer, and distributor who are individual as well as corporate bodies. Yeah, there are questions who say, hey, can I give to other people or not? Okay, on the virtual that there are the 3 status of what we are talking about, right? Meaning these are the agent, distributors, okay, over here, and dealers. Now, can they be corporate bodies? The answer is yes. If you look into the Form CP58, ladies and gentlemen, you will realize this particular comment on item number 4. Over here, they ask you to fill in the recipient particular. So the recipient particular, if you pay attention, it relates to some of this code, and these are the people who can be the recipient of CP58. All right, okay, which includes individual, which is SGOG, okay, it includes C, corporate society, business trust, LLP, partnership, including people who already cease, okay, joint Hindu family and association. So ladies and gentlemen, CP58 can actually be given to everyone who are under the code that you are seeing here, okay? Now, let's continue. Now, once CP58 is prepared for preparers, yeah, a copy must be submitted to the recipient. Okay, we talk about recipient, no later than 31st March of the following year. Now, preparer of CP58, you do not require to submit a copy of the form CP58 to Hasil. You don't need to submit anything to Hasil, okay? But you need to keep a copy, because in the event of tax audit, ladies and gentlemen, this document become an important document to support your payment. Okay. Number 6, recipient of Form CP58 are required to include the said income in his. Okay, just now we talk about preparer, the person who paid the money. Number 6, we talk about the recipient of CP58 are required to include the said income in his or her tax computation when report the annual tax submission to Hasil. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will later talk a little bit about the responsibility of a recipient. Okay, let's continue the fun fact first. Number 7, income received via CP58 is considered as a business income. All right, so if you are a recipient of CP58, it does gives you an avenue to declare and delay your tax submission for the year to July. Okay, so your form to fill in is actually Form B to Hasil. Now, example of incentive that is supposed to be declared for Form CP58. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure whether in the audience, do we have the preparer or only the recipient, but we thought it is important that we just go through this form very quickly. Now, you will realize that there are 2 categories, 1 and 2. The first one, we talk about the monetary incentive payment, the one that actually go in money. Now, The tricky part is always line. What are the other things that was actually putting down here? Now we see various type of preparers preparing various type of approach. Okay, so the line that we have seen, honestly, all shapes and sizes. Okay, so now on the non-monetary, right? Again, if you are being given a car, you are given a travel package, you are going to wherever, the payer, the person who foot the bill, are required to then put it in the CP58. We even have seen multinational companies who's actually sell their products through distributors and agents, reseller agents, right? Even the company dinner lucky draw, the winner who win the lucky draw, we even see that in the CP58 before. Okay, so the recipient may complain about it. Okay, but however, we can't say no to it. Okay, because why? Because CP58, right? What is not included in the CP58 is actually mentioned. So meaning other than whatever that is mentioned here, the rest, the preparer does actually have the right to actually put it into your CP58 for you. So as a result, we have seen lucky draw being put under the non-monetary, and then the recipient of that CP58 was actually required to pay tax. Okay, and to required to actually have the CP58 and include in his personal income tax. Yeah, when he calculates his taxable income. Yeah, for the purpose of payment of tax. So other than that, right, these other things are the one that's not required to be disclosed. Okay, now from CP58, as far as preparer perspective, okay, preparer is only looking into how much I actually pay to you. So CP58 is issued when payment is made. So meaning to say, the CP58 and the record of the expenditure itself may actually have a bit of timing difference. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this as a preparer, okay? So the CP58 actually works this way. Now, however, for the recipient, ladies and gentlemen, if you are the recipient, you must remember your income your business income is always taxed on accrual basis. You see this other red color that I'm actually having. So ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the time taxpayer will take the CP58, they will just do their reporting, and then they will just close the matter as it is. But when the tax audit come to the agent, distributors, and resellers, yeah, okay, they will realize that why I'm still having an undeclared income. Because your CP58, as far as a preparer is concerned, they only give it to you based on whatever the payment that have been made for agent, dealers, and distributors. But for you, your reporting of tax for business source purposes is actually an accrual basis. So the money that you're supposed to be received or due to be receivable in that financial year, in that calendar year, you still got to report, right? So as a result, there is a difference. So don't take CP58 as a final and conclusive document like an EA form for your reporting of income purposes for the freelancer, for the gig workers, etc., etc. Yeah, pay attention to this. Okay, so honestly speaking, if you ask my personal opinion, yeah, when payment is made, okay, I really prefer that gig workers or freelancer or agent or distributors, right? If you are really in the business, all right, register yourself a status. Okay, go to ROB, register a sole proprietorship, or if you are actually working together with other people, maybe register a partnership. If the income is going to be great, you can register an LLP. If it's actually creating more tax savings by having a company, register a company, and do the business properly. Yeah, so that your tax can actually be looked into better. Now, there is also a question just now that actually talks about what if I actually have a business income, but I have never actually registered myself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as far as Inland Revenue is concerned, whether you have a legal entity set up or not, okay, right, you are a sole proprietorship in substance anyway. Yeah, when you are in business. So you can actually do your computation. However, your documentation in the event of tax audit is going to be very weak. I suggest that if you still insist to do it that way, you open 2 sets of bank account. one set of bank account is purely for the purpose of your income, for your business income. If you can, you still issue an invoice. Okay, they may pay you when they look at the invoice because there's no company detail. They may still issue a CP58, whatever it is. Okay, but I still encourage you to prepare an account for yourself if you insist that you still do not want to go to RB and register yourself. Okay, but most importantly, you keep a separate bank account for the purpose of your business. So you separate your spending as well. So if you wanted to do your private spending, paying off your personal credit card or whatever, you diligently take the money from this so-called like a company or business bank account and transfer to your personal bank account, and then only you do the rest. You keep the business bank account as clean and as independent as possible. In the event of tax audit, then you have better way to justify all your treatments of your deductions at the same time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to that. But then again, I still prefer that you not only have a separate bank account, you also have a legal status, at least a sole proprietorship status if you are doing a freelancing or some form of business or another.